for the Mega Drive. This is the Genesis version, which, okay, the cover is the Genesis cover, but the cartridge is the Mega Drive version. Hopefully this is not a reprint. Pretty sure this is original. Feels a little bit flimsy actually, but this is a very old case. I picked this up because I really like the artwork of this, and I love the Fatal Fury series. I played Fatal Fury before I played King of Fighters when I was a kid. Or it was Art of Fighting Fatal Fury, which I played. The three trio here. Terry, we got Joe and Andy, I think he's called. This was released in '93, and this is a port of the Neo Geo version, I believe. You can pick this up for pretty cheap. This goes for around 20 upwards, £20 upwards basically, and I feel like this is slowly going up in price, because last time I checked you can pick this up for like £10. Number 2, however, is super rare. It's hard to find and it's more expensive, but if you're a big fighting game fan, and I definitely recommend Fatal Fury. I feel like there's a big hype with the new Fatal Fury game coming out, and as well as Terry Bogard being in the new Street Fighter 6 as a DLC character. Next up we have Street Fighter 2 for the Mega Drive, and this is one of the games I used to have as a kid, and also my favourite Street Fighter game of the franchise, number 2. This is the Special Champion Edition, and I remember this being the inferior version compared to the SNES one. I'm not too sure why. I think the sound isn't as good, or the music isn't as good as the SNES version. This is super cheap. You can pick this up for like £15, around that sort of range, 15 to £20, I guess, because this is a very common game which came out and everyone bought a copy. But I love the artwork as well. This is totally different to the SNES one, even though the SNES one is more expensive. Ryu does look slightly odd with his face, but apart from that, I love the look of M. Bison and stuff. This comes complete with the manual. The manual is pretty hefty, and this is one for everyone's collection. If they don't have this, you know, Street Fighter 2, then highly recommend it. Next we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and this is one of my favourite Sonics. Actually, one of the reasons why I wanted a Mega Drive as a kid, and this is, I think, pretty much one of the first games that I got, and it's just iconic. Everyone's played Sonic, at least Sonic 2, and now I own a copy, and it's super cheap again. I got this actually for £4 because it was listed as kind of unboxed, I guess because the tab bit is missing and the box is not the best condition, or the manual isn't, that's for sure, but it does come with the manual. £4 this was. Most people will have this in their collection, and I'm actually surprised that I didn't have number 2. I have number 1 but not number 2, but now I own a copy of number 2, so I'm happy. Next we have a Super Mint copy of Street Fighter 2 for the Game Boy, and they didn't make many of these, I don't think. This port isn't great, but it's cool what they did with this Game Boy edition. You can see here. This is not cheap as well. This was £55, I think. Look at that artwork. This is basically the SNES version. Comes with everything. Here's the cartridge. You can tell this person, whoever owned this before, didn't really play the game and just probably had this as a mantelpiece, just because of the artwork. It just looks so cool. I had to get this because you don't really see these boxed at all. I don't really come across these, to be fair. And as a big Street Fighter fan, you know, why not? Gotta treat yourself sometimes. The only downside is that bit's a little bit dented actually. Don't know if that's because of me trying to put this back in. But there we go, another fighting game to the collection. Here we have WrestleMania 2000, and I picked this up because This was actually listed for like £10. I think the person just wanted to get rid of it, even though it does come with a box. Not the best condition. But this is actually my favourite N64 wrestling game. It comes with a manual. What I actually did was I already had a copy. I already had my original N64 copy from back in the day, and I basically just sold the cartridge that was with this because the cartridge itself was kind of yellowed out, discoloured, and I kept the box. You know, have my own cartridge, my original one, so it has all my characters that I created on this, and I also had this holograph sort of picture thing. Liliograph or whatever you call it. This actually came with my original copy, so it was cool to just add this back onto the box and back into the collection. I still need to pick up some of the other wrestling games, at least boxed that is. Moving on, we have Naruto Ultimate Ninja. It's the first Naruto game. I think this is the first Naruto game that's on the PS2. Got this for £5. They're actually quite cheap to get, some of these Naruto games. I love that artwork there. Got pretty much all the characters from season 1 and 2. Comes with a manual. It's all in pretty good nick. And I love the fighting style of the mechanics of this game. It's very flashy for a Naruto game. Yeah, I need to pick up the other ones. Next up we have Death by Degrees, a Nina Williams game, and this is a 2005 spin-off series from Tekken, and this is a action adventure game, kind of like a Tekken Force. I've never actually played this, but I have seen footage of this game. Kind of remember when this came out, and I don't think it got the best reception, but it's pretty cool because you get to learn more about Nina Williams on this game. This came out before Tekken 5. It has bonus footage of Tekken 5 here, and it's a game that I'm going to give it a go. I don't think it's too long. This was like £38. Came with a manual, in good nick. What's this? Namco catalogue, 50th anniversary Namco catalogue there. Yeah, £38. I feel like this game will go up in price just because it's a rare Tekken spin-off game. So give it another 10 years, I reckon this will probably go up in price. There we go. Next up we have Yoshinoya, and you're probably thinking, what is this game? Because it just looks like a cookbook. Doesn't look very exciting at all. This is basically the original Cooking Mama - Overcooked style. It's a Japanese chain of restaurants. I've been there before. They don't seem to have any over in the UK, but in Hong Kong and China and stuff, they've got loads of these restaurants, and really great food. I highly recommend checking it out if you've never been to one before. This is the gameplay. It seems very hectic from what I've seen of this. It's all in Japanese as well. They didn't do a Western release, but I'm going to just show you some of the gameplay, see how manic this is. You're trying to, it's like a restaurant simulator. You're managing your restaurant and trying to get orders as quick as possible, just like Overcooked. Kind of cool though. I like the way this looks, and pretty sure this is quite expensive to pick up just because it's so niche. There we go, there's Yoshinoya. Next I have a sealed copy of One Piece, and this is a Japanese game for the GameCube, and I love how small these cases are. This is actually still sealed. I think this is a Mario Party-esque One Piece game, judging by the screenshots. Probably keep this sealed. I will emulate this, I reckon, but I just love the artwork. I actually haven't watched One Piece. I've watched like bits of it, but never properly watched any of this. more of a Naruto fan, but I think I will enjoy One Piece, so I definitely need to give this a shot. Next we have Biohazard 4 and Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. This is the Japanese version. Comes in these cool cases. And I think I got this for pretty cheap. Got this off a friend. Comes with 2 discs by the looks of it. And the manual as well. And you can look, got some advertisement for a Jill Valentine watch. Interesting. I picked this up just because I just like the box art and it just looks cool. Also have the Resi 4 GameCube console, so this will go with that. Okay, moving on. Next up, this is a big one. Sega Bass Fishing, Japanese version, and it comes with the fishing rod as well. This is for the Dreamcast, and this came out in 1997. I used to have this. I actually had a third-party fishing rod. I used to play this game quite a bit. I love the arcadeness of this, and it feels pretty good. This came from Japan and is actually in really good condition. The box has some discoloration. Itself looks like it's barely been used. There's the game. Maybe the rod's been used once. It's still sealed. But I'm happy to have this in my collection. I can't wait to give this a shot on a old CRT TV. They don't seem to make games like these anymore. Still got quite a lot to cover here. The first PS3 game we have is Sega Rally. And this came out in 2007, I believe, quite early on the PS3 launch. You can see we've got the red logo here. And I never played this when this came out, but I think this is the port of the arcade version, which you can download, or I'm not too sure if you download on the store anymore, but pretty cool. I like how it has some artwork in the sleeve. It comes with a manual, and this is dirt cheap. £4 is what I paid for this. It's just a fun arcadey Sega Rally game. I don't think they made any more after this, I could be wrong. I think they made the Sega GT game, I believe, for the 360. Glad to have this in my collection. I do love the Sega Rally series, and it's just a shame they don't make them anymore. Next we have Grand Theft Auto Liberty City, and a friend actually gave this to me because he just had some spare games. This is the DLC from GTA 4, which I've not played before. It comes with 2 episodes, The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. When did this come out? This came out 2010, I think. So basically using the GTA 4 engine with 2 DLCs. Next we have Way of the Samurai 4, and I had to pick this up because I found this for £35, I think it was, or £38, and I got this from CX. This is the only copy that they had in the company, and I had to snap this up just because people are reselling these for a lot more, because this is a rare title, and I don't think The Way of the Samurai 4 got as much recognition as the others. You can also pick this up for the 360 as well, and I need to go through all of the Way of the Samurai games because I've not actually completed one myself. I've only played bits of it. But yeah, I'm glad to have this, and I really like the artwork. Comes in the manual. The manual's a bit not perfect condition, but everything else is in good nick. Next we have 2 Army of 2 games. This is the first Army of 2. Great co-op game. You can play split screen with a friend and do the campaign. Also got Army of 2, the 40-day. I think this was supposed to be a DLC, but they just ended up releasing it as a standalone. Both of these are like, that's like £1.50. I think these are both £1.50. No, this was like £4. Super cheap. I think the third one is more expensive. This was actually released in 2008, and this was released in 2010. The last PS3 game we have is Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days, £3.50. Another 2-player co-op split screen game, and this is actually published by Square Enix. I've only ever played bits of the Kane and Lynch games. I've never completed them, but they were fun games. This is why I had to pick this up. Is the limited edition. I'm not too sure what else you get with it. It just looks like a standard edition. It comes with the cardboard sleeve. Okay, there's DLC codes, which I don't even know if they work anymore. But another Dead series. They don't seem to make any Kane and Lynch games just like the Army of Two ones. But also great story mode, 2-player couch co-op split screen games, which I'm all for. Here are some of the PS4 games I picked up. First we have Resident Evil Revelations 2, and I've always wanted to pick this up. This was like £10, and I've not actually completed any of the Revelations. So they seem like cool games. This one here I got because this one you can do 2-player split screen. So I can't wait to try this and complete the story mode and also play Mercenaries mode. So this is what, £10 I think I picked this up, and it went up in price, and it went up a couple quid after I bought this. I remember this came out in episodes 1 to 5. I didn't like how they sold it as episodes. I'd rather have just the complete game, which is why it took me this long to get it, because I've been waiting for this to go down in price. Revelations is one of the ones that people least like or least play, I believe, compared to the main storyline arc. Now I've got it, so definitely going to give it a go. Kingdom Hearts 3, and I remember watching the trailer for this, the E3 trailer, whenever that came out, and loved the look of this. I just haven't purchased this at all until recently, because this was £5, unbelievably cheap for what it seems to be a pretty nice looking game. People say this is quite short, but I like the look of the level designs and stuff. I'm not too sure how well this fares with all the other Kingdom Hearts games, but we'll soon find out. Here we have Kamiwaza Way of the Thief, and this was released in 2022. This is a port or re-release of the original of the same name, which was released in 2006, which I never played before. The original was just called Kamiwaza, and it's a stealth game which resembles Tenchu. It's a bit like a goofy Tenchu game where you are just a petty thief, I guess. It looks funny, this is why I bought it. I feel like this will go up in price. Some of the games are quite expensive, very niche games, I think. A lot of JRPGs that they make or publish. If you haven't seen this game, maybe give it a go. I can't remember how much I paid for this. Maybe like £15–20. Not too expensive. Yeah, looks fun. Does look kind of dated, but it is a port. But anyway, that is the PS4 selection. I have a couple of Xbox One games. I've started to collect a few more Xbox One games because they're dirt cheap, and also because I have recently cancelled my Game Pass subscription as well as my PS4 subscription, because I've got so much backlog of games that I need to play. I never had time to play any of the releases on those platforms, and I'm just kind of wasting my money paying every month for these subscriptions that I don't really use. Plus Xbox One games are so cheap that, you know, just pick a couple up just to play. Halo Wars 2, the first one. This is £4. I completed the first one, got it on Steam, and I've never tried Halo Wars 2, and a friend of mine really loves this game and has tried to get me to play this as well, so I'm gonna give this a go. It's a shame it's not like split screen co-op. You have to have Xbox Gold, but I'll just play the campaign for now. Yakuza Like a Dragon, this was on the Game Pass, or probably still is on Game Pass. This is the Steelbook version, which I had to get this just because I like that this is a turn-based fighting mechanics Yakuza game. and it's a very goofy one. Only comes with a disc, but I plan to complete this one. And then the last one is Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition. I had to get this because I almost finished number 3, Mass Effect 3, but because I cancelled my subscription, I wasn't able to complete this because it's on Game Pass. I've been playing on Game Pass, and I've completed 1, 2 and 3, and probably about 80% done with the third one. Just going through loads of side quests at the moment. And it's such a shame that I can't play this anymore without my subscription. After paying for it for like over a decade, I kind of rather save my money and just get the physical, because I will play Mass Effect again. I've got all 3 of them actually. I remember buying the first one, the limited edition with the tin steelbook case, and one of my favourite sci-fi RPG action games out there. So I just had to get this. It was a no-brainer, especially for the price. And eventually I'll be able to complete it again. I forgot about these two. So the last 2 PS4 games, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've not completed. £5 I picked this up for. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this was from a charity shop actually, and they were pricing this for pretty cheap. 2 more games to show. This is for the Switch, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I got these on holiday. This is the Asian copy, so you got Chinese writing at the bottom there, but it still plays on a PAL Switch because they're region free. Same thing with Superstars, this is also the Asian version. I had to get this because this has all the old N64 and GameCube maps, but they do have English language on them, so that's absolutely fine. I do like Wonder. It's a very different Mario game, very trippy and bright and vibrant. I think I prefer the original style of the new Super Mario games, but Wonder is cool if you've never tried it. So the last Switch game that I have is Cadence of Hyrule, and I didn't realise that they made this. This kind of caught me by surprise. This is a spin-off of the Zelda series, and it looks to be 2D rhythm Zelda game, which you can do co-op with 2 people. So it features tunes and characters and items from the Legend of Zelda's series. Includes all DLC with characters, melodies and a new story. When did this come out? This 2019, so actually it's been out for quite some time. I never see this. I never see this copy really. So it must be kind of rare for a Zelda game, and I can't wait to check this out. So that's pretty much it for the games. I think this video has gone on for a little bit too long. I'm just going to go through some Blu-rays that I picked up, some DVDs I guess. So first up we have Jackie Chan's Police Story 1 and 2, and my partner actually picked this up for me. It's been so long since I've watched these. Like last time I watched these was probably when I was a kid, and she's never watched them before, so ended up watching the first one, which we enjoyed. We need to watch the second one, and I think there's like at least 5 of them, but 1 and 2 are probably the best in the series. Next we have Armour of God, another Jackie Chan Blu-ray. This is basically Indiana Jones style Jackie Chan sort of adventure comedy film, and this is the 88 films release. So it has this cool like booklet with all the information about the film and just Jackie Chan's career. Oops. Also has a poster as well. If you haven't watched this, I definitely recommend checking this out. The Armour of God. Next we have Yuen Biao's On the Run. This has a very neon noir, if that makes sense, Blade Runner style sort of shots, cinematic shots and that, and music. This is a thriller and quite a depressing film, quite a sad film. Another Jackie Chan film, this is Battle Creek Brawl, and this is I think one of his very early Western films. His very first Western film, maybe not his first, but this is when he was trying to break through Hollywood in the 80s. late 80s. Haven't actually watched this myself, but I'll probably give it a go. That's it for Blu-rays. Next we've got some couple of DVDs here. Got Firefly. Picked this up from charity shop, pretty cheap. Highly recommend watching this if you haven't. 2-pack movie All Eyes on Me. That's the film, and a documentary, The West Side. I've seen a lot of these sort of 2-pack or Death Row documentaries, Biggie documentaries, and I haven't actually seen this before. This I found in a charity shop, which I never knew Snoop Dogg did a pimp film before. Him displaying as a pimp. Also features Little John. Snoop Dogg's bossing it up. Most likely going to be terrible, but I'm going to watch it anyway. So there we go, that is pretty much everything I picked up in the last few months or so. It's quite a lot of stuff really. A backlog of stuff to watch and play. But you know, it ties me over. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, then just comment down below. And I'll probably see you on the next pickups video in the next few months. Not too sure what I'm going to get because I'm trying to slow it down a bit with collecting things. So we'll see on the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.